Please stand and join Dr. David Quist in singing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
You may be seated. Good morning. My name is Dr. Dan Weinert, Provost for Palmer College of Chiropractic. It is my distinct honor to be your Master of Ceremony on this very special day. Please join me in a moment of silence to honor the forefathers of chiropractic and the passing of members of our profession. Distinguished platform members, today's speaker, Dr. Anthony Piana, candidates for the degrees, members of the faculty, administration, staff, supporters, family, and friends of today's graduates, welcome to today's commencement ceremonies as we mark the entrance of these outstanding men and women into the profession as Palmer graduates. And welcome to Palmer College, where it all started, the fountainhead of the chiropractic profession. This college represents our profession's rich heritage and its strong future. We would like to acknowledge those present who have served our country. Would all veterans or active duty military in attendance, whether you're a graduate, family, or friend, please stand for recognition as we thank you for your service. Today, we're here to celebrate the commitment, dedication, outstanding achievements, and the certain future contributions of the 82 talented men and women seated at the center of this famed hall. Drawn together by the educational experience they've nearly completed, the students seated before you have started their journey as a diverse collection of individuals. In fact, the flags here on stage represent the many states and countries they hail from. As it has for well over a century, Palmer College continues to attract students seeking the best chiropractic education in the world. In turn, our community is enriched by their diversity of talent, tradition, and culture. As we call candidates to the stage to receive their degrees, there are a couple of protocols I'd like to mention. One, during today's ceremony, we'll be granting 2 different degrees, Bachelor of Science and Doctor of Chiropractic. Palmer, secondly, celebrates its extensive alumni and specifically the legacy of chiropractic that exists within some families by encouraging candidates to be accompanied to the stage by a family member who is also an alumnus of Palmer. And graduates, remember, we're not assembled today to celebrate the end of the program. We're here for commencement, or a beginning. We are here to mark the beginning of your professional lives. Palmer and your experiences and mentors before have prepared you well. You have entered to learn. Now it is time to go forth and serve. And with that, let's begin our ceremony. Today's commencement speaker, Dr. Anthony Piana, graduated from Palmer College of Chiropractic in 1991. Dr. Piana has distinct honor to join in the celebration with all the parents in the assembly today, as his son Palmer is among this class and is graduating with 2 honors that he also held while enrolled: class representative and a member of the Palmer rugby team. Now, during his career, Dr. Piana owned multiple offices throughout Connecticut. He is the president of Chirotherm and is a leader in the field of thermography. Over his 31-year career, Dr. Piana has lectured and held workshops all over the world on topics such as spinal trauma, hormone dysfunction, thermography, and in 2020, during the pandemic, he taught classes to the United States Customs and Border Patrol on how to use thermal equipment to detect fevers at airports and public institutions. He also was the team physician for the New Haven rugby team for 15 years. In 2021, Dr. Piana moved and opened a chiropractic practice in a small town of Ninilchik, Alaska, where he now lives and enjoys fishing, hunting, and spending time outdoors. Please join me in welcoming our commencement speaker, Dr. Anthony Piana.
Thank you, Dr. Marchiori, and everyone here in the class of 223 and guests. I want to be the first one to say to the graduates, almost, good morning, doctors. Told you I'd get that in there. Let me see, the light's bright, but it looks like a lot of you guys might have been out late last night, so no, put your hands down, I don't want to see. Okay. Actually, I took my daughter, Sedona, to Nashville to watch a rugby game last spring, and we went to the Grand Ole Opry. And if you guys are familiar with that, they have this circle, the wooden circle on stage, where country western singers come back and they get honored and they sing on stage. Well, it's an honor to be in this chiropractic circle. So 31 years and 2 days ago, I actually sat in those seats where you guys are. That's pretty crazy to think about that. Reggie Gold was our commencement speaker. It's pretty big shoes to fill, I think. It was exciting. It's been exciting. It's been an amazing ride. As I was introduced, chiropractic has taken me to some amazing places. I've been to 50 countries, 50 states, all provinces of Canada. I spent 3 weeks in St. Paul's Church at Ground Zero immediately after what happened. I did 4 weeks in China with the ICA. That was a great experience. I was the chiropractor for Glenn Beck. During COVID, as was mentioned, I worked with top Pentagon officials for fever detection with thermography. And thermography, in case you guys don't know, was one of BJ's favorite technologies to use. Okay, so, and the most odd one was I was dedicated on a rap album in 1996 by Rex, in effect, as being the best chiropractor in the world. So that goes up there with all of them, right? Well, the sad reality is it feels like it's only been a few years, but the reality is when Ronald Reagan was president in 1988, he came back here to Palmer, and I was a student. So that shows I've been around for a little while. Actually, he worked for BJ Palmer at the radio station, for those of you who didn't know. He worked, BJ was his direct boss. And Reagan says that one of the best things he learned from BJ Palmer was to accentuate the positive and eliminate the negative. So instead of saying, don't forget, say remember, something like that. And I think we've all learned from BJ in those ways. Well, now's the point where I give you what I think is 7 things. I was trying to come up with 7 things that you should consider for your success as a chiropractor. And probably some of these principles go for everybody here in this room. But I couldn't come up with just 7, so the list is going to be 14. But don't worry, I might live in Alaska, but I was born and raised in New York, so I can talk fast, and we'll get through them all, okay? So here are the 14 things everybody should consider. And number 1 would be dream. BJ said, dare to dream. Keep your head in the clouds, but your feet on earth. The Field of Dreams, they must have picked it because of the Palmers when they picked Iowa, because they said, build it and they will come to Iowa from all over. And, here we are. So that must have been what they did. And always remember, number 2, to educate yourself. Like was said earlier, this is not the end. This is the beginning of your education. Educating now that you are doctors. Doctor means teacher. So it's your job now to teach. Those you encounter, it'll be important for everybody to find a mentor, but also become one for other people. I remember the Kaplowitz brothers from Connecticut. They graduated sometime before I did, and they taught me a term that I'm going to share with you. It's called Rabbi Gelt. Rabbi in Hebrew means teacher, and Gelt means money. So it means money that teaches. So never be afraid to spend money to learn. That's the value of your Palmer education that you guys have here today. It's valuable, and never be afraid in the future, even if it's from a mistake, and you spent money on that mistake, you'll learn something from it. And always remember to walk the talk. 3 would be innovate. Tradition is super important, as we all know here at Palmer, but new technology right now is up for grabs. So the important part here would be to pick up that torch and start creating some innovation in the profession. That reminds me of a story that I want to pass on from Reggie Gold from my commencement address that he gave. He said, a man comes to a new land with a machete in his hand, and he cuts a trail. Next, a few more come, and they make a beaten down path. Then the many come, and they pave the road that was created by that path. The many take the credit for the highway, but it was the man with the machete in hand that created and started it all. That reminds me of a man, or probably a couple of men, that were here about 125 plus years ago, D.D. Palmer and B.J. Palmer, with the machete in hand, creating all of this for us. And we're the many at this point. But the innovation side of things, and point number 3 I made, was somebody needs to pick that machete up and create new paths. 4, be always ready. The Coast Guard has a motto, Semper Paratus, which means always ready. So be ready always to give and receive. 5, trust and faith. Trust in the principle. Have faith in universal intelligence. As the Marines say, Semper Fi. 6, enthusiasm. Be excited. Maintain that excitement that you guys had coming in here today throughout your whole career. That's super important. 7, resiliency. I rate this as the most important. It's important to bounce back from hardships, and we're all going to have them at some point. Adapt, improvise, and overcome. 8, expect. Expect miracles, expect success. I want to share with you 2 quick stories. I had a woman from Korea come in with polio, and she had some pelvic discrepancies from the paralysis. And while I was helping her, she went to my spinal care class, and she heard about the history of chiropractic with Harvey Lilliard. And for those of you who don't know, just a couple of blocks down the road here at 2nd and Brady was the first chiropractic adjustment, and it was a deaf man whose hearing came back after his first adjustment. Well, she heard about this, and she said, well, my mom is deaf in the right ear. She fell down the stairs. I said, well, bring her in. We'll check her and see if there's something we can do. I'm not making any promises of any kind, but come in and we'll check her. So I came in, and I determined that her atlas was shifted to the right side, and I toggled her, which is the first class we learn in adjusting here at Palmer. So she left, comes back the next day or a couple days later, and I hear her and her daughter arguing, and they're arguing in Korean. She spoke no English. And I said, what's the matter, Sarah? And she said, well, she can't hear out of her left ear now. And I'm like, oh boy. But I said, wait a minute. I said, you guys were just talking, and she heard you talk. She goes, no, she could hear fine out of her right ear, just not her left ear. I said, well, that's good. I tried to explain to her that's good, so I laid her back down on the table, and I adjusted her left atlas, and her hearing came back completely. So that was a cool story. So interesting. 9, cherish. Cherish the friendships and relationships you've made here at Palmer. Your memories here will last forever. You are now part of the greatest fraternity on earth. 10, think. The free thinker is becoming extinct. Think out of the box. And the person that comes to our mind probably the most in today's world would be Elon Musk. And I bet you didn't know his great-grandmother was the first chiropractor in Canada. B.J. Palmer said, we never know how far-reaching something we may think, say, or do today will affect the lives of millions tomorrow. Get the big idea, and all else will follow. Don't get caught up on details. 11, lead, follow, or get out of the way. Follow your heart and intuition. They already know the way. The power that made the body heals the body. And so Palmer is your class president here, and when he was 4 years old, he would come to our office in the afternoons after daycare or school or whatever they call it, and he would sit at the front door and he would open the door letting patients leave, and he would say in his little voice, "The body heals the body." He wasn't very smart back then, but he was always a leader though. Here at Palmer, as was mentioned, I don't think it was mentioned, he was the class president, the rugby president, the fraternity president, and the vice president of student council. So he's taken that lead. I don't have to do anything anymore. It's all up to him, I guess. But number 12 is to give. Zig Ziglar said, "Give enough people what they want and you'll get what you want." Tony Robbins, "Giving is the secret to living." Jesus, "Give and you shall receive." Start right here at Palmer. It's extremely important for our profession and the future of chiropractic. Start giving back to Palmer right away. 13, encourage. I've helped to encourage over 30 people attend Palmer over the years. 6 are actually here right now. They were probably the ones out late last night, actually. Now, make a difference. Encourage people. In every town you go to, every country you go to, make sure you're making a difference. And the last would be sustain. Sustain the philosophy of our profession and lifestyle. 125 years, we fought an upstream battle with great resiliency and progression. Through your 2 hands, your heart, they will take you anywhere you choose to go in life. Remember, everything starts above, in the head, then to the heart, you feel it, and you express it through your hands. My roommate, when I was here, Anthony Dawson, said, "Chiropractic is my ticket to the world." Well, he was the first chiropractor in Indonesia, worked in Australia, Singapore, and now he's in Barcelona. Ever since you guys are young, you've been in a classroom with a teacher giving you constant advice and direction. You were evaluated through grades, and you completed assignments. This was a highly structured environment for everybody. You were told what to do, where to go, and even when you were allowed to use the restroom, you needed a pass. You will leave here today without that constant direction. It will be up to you to create your own success. Make your own decisions, your own choices. You will miss the time spent here. I know I do. You will no longer receive grades to compare yourself to other people. You will need to decide on how you're going to grade yourself, whether it's money, experiences, raising a family, changing lives. That's up to you. Create your own goals. There's no limits to your success. I'm not going to tell you how to judge yours. That will be up to you. Martial artists know that the black belt is just the beginning of a career in martial arts. As was said earlier, commencement is a beginning. In a few moments, you will create your beginning. Make it great. Thank you.
Students who earn a Bachelor of Science degree from Palmer College must complete 120 semester hours. 30 of these hours may come from life science courses taken in the Doctor of Chiropractic curriculum. Dr. Marchiori, upon the recommendation of the Dean, Faculty, and Academic Standing Committee of Palmer College of Chiropractic, it gives me pleasure to present those candidates who have successfully completed the requirements for the granting of the degree Bachelor of Science. The Bachelor of Science degree is awarded in General Science. The candidates will be introduced by Mr. Craig Miko, Associate Professor in Life Sciences.
Please stand as your name is read. Ashley Brooke Badger. Aaliyah Marie Bazerby. Catherine Hatch Cardell. Dalton J. Fandrich. Silver Joe Faust. Tynan Flegg. Elizabeth Emmeline Grusling. Sean Christian Hagan, Jessica Nicole Harmon, Rachel May Martin, Dallas Benjamin Mitchell, Abram Scow, Cody Benjamin Somerville, Victor Trujillo, Jonathan David Waltman.
Good morning, candidates. On behalf of the faculty and the trustees of Palmer College of Chiropractic, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the laws of the state of Iowa, I do hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science. Congratulations to all of you. Palmer recognizes several chiropractic awards given through the college that represent chiropractic science, art, and philosophy to which our chiropractic profession was founded and continues to develop. I'll welcome our provost, Dr. Dan Weinert, back to the podium to recognize some of our recipients.
The Clinic Excellence Award is presented by the college each trimester by the Department of Clinics to a graduating doctor who has demonstrated superior quality of service to patients. Clinic faculty recommend candidates. The Clinic Excellence Award Committee makes their selection based upon quality of care, leadership potential, performance knowledge and skills, service to patients, and dedication to the profession. Today's award recipient, Abby Williamson, is from Manhattan, Kansas. Prior to enrolling at Palmer, she pursued a biology degree from Iowa State University in Palmer's Accelerated Pathway program, graduating magna cum laude and as a member of the Cardinal Key Honor Society. She also co-founded and was president of Iowa State's Pre-Chiropractic Club. Following graduation, she plans to go into practice at Thrive Chiropractic in Topeka, Kansas. Abby, please approach the stage to be recognized and receive your award. Please welcome Dr. Roger Hines to the podium to introduce the Virgil V. Strang Philosophy Award nominees.
Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Roger Hines, and I'm honored to present the Virgil V. Strang Philosophy Award, named in honor of Palmer's 7th president and a chiropractic philosopher, anatomist, teacher, humanitarian, and practitioner who exemplified the philosophy, commitment, passion, logic, and reasoning of the practice of chiropractic. Recipients are nominated by faculty and their peers in the graduating class and selected by a faculty committee. Will the nominees for this award please rise and be recognized as your name is read? Lane Henry Krause. Rachel May Martin. Sarah Hassan Fadel. Prior to attending Palmer, the Class 223 Virgil V. Strang Philosophy Award winner graduated from Buena Vista University in Storm Lake, Iowa, majoring in biology. While at Palmer, he was a teaching assistant for the physical diagnosis and gross anatomy courses and the co-president of the Palmer-Gonstead Club. At this time, I would like our award winner, Lane Krause, to come forward to receive the Virgil V. Strang Philosophy Award.
The Academic Excellence Award is presented to those members of the graduating class who have displayed the highest level of academic achievement by earning Dean's List honors every term while at Palmer. Will the recipients of this honor please present themselves? Aaliyah Marie Bazerby. Michael Bujak. Nicholas Robert Casper. Alexander Combs. Caroline Allison Connolly. Sarah Elizabeth Durr. Elizabeth Emmeline Grusling. Grant Logan Johnson. Rachel May Martin. Caitlin McKenzie. Hunter Jonathan Schultz. Eric Scott Wiegand. Abby Williamson.
The salutatorian for Class 22-3 is Elizabeth Grusling. Elizabeth is from Missoula, Montana, and prior to attending Palmer, she attended the University of Montana and was awarded there a Bachelor of Science degree prior to attending Palmer. We also know that during her time here, she was very dedicated to service. She enjoyed participating in the Pediatric Club, the Upper Cervical Club, and was Vice President of Philanthropy with the Palmer Student Alumni Foundation. After graduation, Elizabeth plans to work as an associate at the Matt's Family Chiropractic Clinic in Missoula, Montana. Elizabeth, please come forward to receive your award and recognition. Our salutatorian. It's worth noting to those that are in the audience wondering, salutatorian, how is that defined exactly? How are those academic achievements calculated? Well, we have 74 courses here at Palmer, and Elizabeth achieved 73 A's and 1 B. It's an outstanding achievement. The highest level of academic achievement, therefore, goes to folks that have achieved all A's in all 74 courses. They are perfect 4.0s. Amazingly, for this class, 22-3, we have 3 individuals that have achieved that honor, which is outstanding in itself. So let me introduce the bio of each of these individuals, and then we'll bring them up to collectively celebrate their achievement, and then individually we'll hear from them with their comments. So our first is Rachel Martin. She's from Sunbury, Ohio, and prior to Palmer, she was proudly homeschooled and completed her chiropractic program prerequisites online through the Thomas Edison State University. She was awarded her bachelor's degree earlier in today's ceremony here at Palmer. While at Palmer, Rachel served as a teaching assistant for our Gross Anatomy 2 and Spinal Anatomy courses, as well as she was a radiology intern and active in the motion palpation, torque release, and Gonstead chiropractic technique clubs. Following graduation, she plans to start a mobile chiropractic clinic here in the Quad Cities. Our second recipient is Hunter Schultz. He's from Princeton, Illinois, and prior to attending Palmer, he received an associate's degree from the Illinois Valley Community College and a bachelor's degree from Cardinal Stritch University with a double major in biology and chemistry. While at Palmer, Hunter was actively involved in the radiology department as a senior radiology intern, and he's thinking that maybe one day he might pursue radiology as a discipline training by contemplating radiology residencies. For now, however, after graduation, he's going to go into clinical practice as an associate at a clinic here in the Midwest. Our third recipient is Abby Williamson. She's from Manhattan, Kansas. In addition to being class valedictorian, as you saw, she was just awarded our prestigious Clinical Excellence Award. While at Palmer, Abby was president of the Extremities Club and served as a rehabilitation intern, and also earned Webster's Pediatric Care certification during her time here at Palmer. Following graduation, she plans to work at Thrive Chiropractic with the Palmer alumnus Maggie Hunsicker as they pursue continued work with pediatrics, and she may even continue her education with certification in pediatrics. Rachel, Hunter, and Abby, please join me at the podium to receive your awards. Hunter? Yeah, put it on. Can we get a collective photo with the three of you together? Folks, our valedictorians. We'll now hear from each of them.
I just returned a week ago from completing my preceptorship in Washington State. During that time, I had the privilege and pleasure of getting to spend quite a bit of time hiking in the numerous national parks and forests in the Northwest. One of my favorite things about hiking in the mountains is getting to the top and looking back at the whole landscape spread out below of where I've just come from and then where I'm headed. And that's what I would like to do today. We've reached the summit, so to speak, and I think that it is appropriate to spend some time looking back on where we've come from and then looking forward at where we're headed. And for me personally, as I look back, it becomes quite apparent that I did not make it to this point on my own, and I owe a lot of gratitude to some specific people. First and most importantly, I must return thanks to God, who has led, sustained, and provided for me every step of this journey. To take a homeschool grad who had no intention of going to college, who had literally never sat through a lecture before coming here, and get her through this program is nothing less than an act of God, and I give him all the credit for it. It's humbling to stand up here knowing not only that I never could have done this by myself, but also that I never would have chosen this for myself. But God's plan for my life is so much better than mine. And there is almost no situation in my life where that is more evident than what this season has been. Second, I have to thank my family, who have been my biggest support through all of this, for their constant love. Not many students can claim that their family uprooted and moved 500 miles across the country to be with them while they were at school. I am deeply, deeply grateful. To my parents, thank you for instilling in me a love of learning and a work ethic to be able to set my goals and work toward them even when it's hard. More importantly, thank you for praying for me every day. I'm convinced that this has been of more benefit in my life than I will ever be able to quantify. Daddy, in specific, thank you for the hours that you spent quizzing me on origins, insertions, actions, and innervations for Gross Anatomy 1. Next, I want to thank the faculty, in particularly our professors and our staff doctors. I think I can safely speak for my entire class when I say that I know we were not exactly a delight to teach all the time. Being an instructor is an extremely demanding and probably often a discouraging role, as we students rarely appreciate in the moment being challenged in the ways that we need most. So in all sincerity, thank you. Thank you for pouring into us, for encouraging and patiently answering our questions, for challenging us to excel, and for genuinely wanting us to succeed. It is a fact that not one of us would be here today without you. And finally, I want to thank you, my class. I'm not exaggerating when I say that being a part of this class in specific has been one of the best parts about my time at Palmer. I love our class dynamic, the camaraderie, the team spirit, the support that everyone has for each other. You probably don't realize how much you all just being you encouraged me along the way and made me want to keep with it and do my best and make Class 223 stand out at Palmer. During the grueling days of online classes, it was seeing your names in the chat box that kept me going every day. And when I thought about taking some time off until things were back to in-person, It was the determination that I wanted to be here today, graduating with this class, that convinced me to stay. So thank you. You have been a phenomenal class, and I am grateful for each and every one of you. So that was the easy part to write. But to think about, in light of the kind of class that you've been, what do I want to leave you with? That was a little more challenging. So I settled on 4 kind of takeaway points for you. You are entering a healthcare world that is increasingly less interested in helping people be healthy and increasingly more interested in keeping people dependent. But that is the antithesis of the message of chiropractic. Chiropractic is wellness-driven and concerned with empowering people. Thus, you will be swimming against the current, or it will be carrying you with it. So with that in mind, I have 4 challenges I want to leave you with. Number 1, don't be afraid. Practice with confidence. I know here in school, they kind of have to teach us everything that could go wrong. And it can be easy to come away from that with the very low bar goal of just not killing someone or not getting sued. Yeah, you all feel it too. But don't be afraid. You are capable of doing so much more good than harm. Let me say that again. You are capable of doing so much more good than harm. Be assured that what you are doing works and you will help people. So don't be afraid. Practice with confidence. Number 2, don't compromise. Practice with integrity. Don't compromise your values. Don't compromise your patient's trust. And don't compromise your patient's best interests. Determine to do what is right, regardless of the consequences. It doesn't matter if cutting that corner is more profitable or will make you look like a better doctor. Practice with integrity and refuse to compromise. Number 3, don't settle. Practice with inspiration and pursue excellence. This morning when I woke up, the first thought that went through my head was, this is my graduation day. Today I stop being a student and start being a doctor. And then immediately I realized that I was completely wrong. I have been becoming a doctor this whole time, but I will never stop being a student. That's the mindset that I want to challenge you all to have. Keep learning and improving. Never let the thought, I'm a good enough chiropractor, poison your mind and practice. Never become that old dog that can't learn new tricks. The perfect example of this, I think, is my staff doctor, Harry Wallace. He's been in practice for, I think, 53 years and constantly was bringing to us in the clinic just new articles that he was reading, new books, and then looking for ways to incorporate that into his practice. And I want to be like that. We should all want to be like that. So don't settle. Practice with inspiration. And number 4, don't forget. Practice with humility. Don't forget what? It's not your job to fix people. It's your job to remove interference, and the patient's body does the healing. When you think that it's your job to fix people, that's when you will tend to over-adjust, because you will feel like you have to make something happen. Don't fall into that. You don't have to prove anything. Not to your patients, not to the medical community, not to other chiropractors, not to yourselves. So you are free to do what is in the best interests of your patient, even if that means doing less. So, to recap, don't be afraid. Practice with confidence. Don't compromise. Practice with integrity. Don't settle. Practice with inspiration. And don't forget, practice with humility. If you keep hold of these 4 principles, I'm confident that you will be the best doctors in the world, just as you have been the best classmates. Thank you, Class 223, and from the bottom of my heart, all the best to each of you.
Writing a speech is hard. At first, I thought I'd try and make it funny, but when I went to sit down and actually write some good chiropractic jokes, my biggest fear became real as it occurred to me that I had no good jokes, and I'm actually not very funny, which is something my friends and classmates have told me for years. So my second thought was to make it heartfelt and sentimental, but that never really got any further than acknowledging my family, which is something I think all the grads can really realize. I had the honor of living only an hour away from home, so I went home quite often. And while it felt like I was going home for a good meal and free laundry, that's because I did do that often. But what I didn't realize at the time, and looking back now, is that it gave me a break that I really needed from this program that can often feel like it is an eternity and really never ends. And lastly, I wanted to finish it with some words of wisdom, but I also couldn't think of anything good there. And I didn't want to copy some other ones. I wanted it to be unique. But what is unique really is this class in our experience. Between being here prior to COVID, having the school shut down, the clinic changes that we had, no one will ever have an experience that we had here. So that's something to be very proud of. But what else is unique, as Rachel did mention, is this class. I would never pick to go through again to have a class any different than this one, which is saying quite a bit for a class that has Alex Pierce in it. Alex asked why I couldn't rehearse it with him today, and that was why. I hope you guys all have the honor of being a patient in one of these doctors' clinics. That's all I really have to say. Congrats and thank you.
I was told there'd be water and I'm gonna need it. Okay. July 16th, 2019, 7:29 a.m. There we sat. A little anxious, a little excited, reasonably intimidated, definitely caffeinated, but above all, determined. 7:30 a.m. Anticipation filled the lecture hall. Not knowing exactly what we were getting ourselves into, but knowing that one day, in the distant future, it would all be worth it. Sarah Durr would have told us, welcome to day 1 of 1,193. Before us was an unfathomable number of assignments, hours studying, quizzes, tests, practicals, board exams, and 3 Canadian boards for some, culminating in us walking across the stage today. Over these 3 years, we've gone from strangers and classmates to friends, best friends, roommates, bridesmaids and groomsmen, fiancés, spouses, and today we become doctors and colleagues. Class 223 has some of the most ambitious and passionate people I have ever met, always seeking the betterment of themselves and the profession. I could not be more proud to be part of the legacy of Class 223, a class that from the very beginning has been involved in every possible extracurricular. Campus guides, PSAF, SICA, SABCA, student council, past tutors, business ambassadors, social media, club membership and leadership, student mentors, work studies, sorority and fraternity members, rugby and VA interns, not to mention all of the nights and weekends of internships, seminars, jobs, and Army Reserve duties. Class 223 was also the first ever to win the Palmer Olympic Games. And we're the prettiest class, according to the new Palmer website homepage, where you'll see a few familiar faces. Not only did we excel in one of the hardest graduate school programs, but we added more to our plate, and we were athletic and attractive while doing so. The last time we were all in this room was the summer of 2021, when we advanced from classroom to clinic. Over the last year, we've cared for many patients and delivered hundreds of adjustments. One patient who I took care of during my preceptorship will stick with me forever. A young mother brought in her sweet 5-month-old baby, we'll call her Mary, who had been struggling and getting worse. Since birth, Mary was constantly arched backwards and looking left. She couldn't sleep more than an hour at a time without waking up screaming in pain. Yet, Mom explained how the biggest struggle was going anywhere in the car, no matter how long. Because she was confined to flexion, her car seat made her cry the hardest. On the morning of her 6th adjustment, when I asked how Mary was doing, her mother looked back at me and said through tears, "Last night she slept 12 hours straight with 0 arching, and she didn't cry at all on the car ride here." Joy and relief spread across her face as she embraced me. That one patient and that one moment made the last 1,193 days worth it. She will always remind me of why I wanted to be a chiropractor. Class 223, think back to your last year of clinic and remember your Mary. When you found the root cause of their problem and used chiropractic to help them heal, a ripple effect far greater than just your patient's outcome was created. Their quality of life improved along with those of their close family, friends, and beyond. That's just considering one patient and one chiropractor. Think of the hundreds of thousands of people waiting for us to cross this stage and begin serving through chiropractic and its ripple effect. From July 16th, 2019 to October 21st, 2022, here we are at the end of one journey and the beginning of the next. This was the hard part I kept crying through. Okay. When you celebrate this amazing accomplishment, let it be for the victories of becoming a doctor and those yet to come as a chiropractor. Let it be for, let it be for all you've learned and all you have yet to master. Let it be for all the people who have supported you to this moment and those who will stick with you through the thick and thin of your chiropractic career. And celebrate today knowing the best is yet to come. Class 223, congratulations on becoming the next graduating class of Doctors of Chiropractic. Go forth, serve, and expect miracles.
To receive a Doctor of Chiropractic degree from Palmer College of Chiropractic, students must complete a rigorous curriculum that is the equivalent of 5 academic years in 10 trimesters or 3 1/3 calendar years. There are 74 courses, 4,710 contact hours of instruction in the curriculum required for graduation. Dr. Marchiori, upon the recommendation of the Dean, faculty, and the Academic Standing Committee of Palmer College of Chiropractic, it gives me great pleasure to present those candidates who have successfully completed the requirements for the granting of the degree Doctor of Chiropractic. The graduating doctors will be introduced to Dr. Marchiori by Mr. Craig Miko, Associate Professor in Life Sciences, and Dr. Rainier Pavlicek, Faculty Senate President. Dr. Marchiori will present the colors of the doctoral hood signifying the candidate's success in completing the graduate program. Will the candidates please present themselves?
Aaliyah Marie Bazerby, magna cum laude, Michigan. Michael Bujak, magna cum laude, Canada. Nicholas Robert Casper, magna cum laude, New York. Alexander Combs, summa cum laude, Alabama. Caroline Allison Connolly, magna cum laude, New York. Sarah Elizabeth Durr, summa cum laude, Ohio. Elizabeth Emmeline Grusling, summa cum laude, Montana. Grant Logan Johnson, magna cum laude, Wisconsin. Rachel May Martin, summa cum laude, Ohio. Caitlin McKenzie, magna cum laude, Canada. Hunter Jonathan Schultz, summa cum laude, Illinois. Eric Scott Wiegand, summa cum laude, Wisconsin. Abby Rose Williamson, summa cum laude, Minnesota. Casey Adair, cum laude, Oklahoma. Alex Anderson, Iowa. Trevor Keith Anderson, cum laude, Utah. Ashley Brooke Badger, Iowa. Jace Charles Lee Bancord, cum laude, Illinois. Maxwell Porter Barkalow, Illinois. Derek Ray Bechtold, Iowa. Esther B. Brumand, summa cum laude, Wisconsin. Catherine Hatch Cardell, Tennessee. Logan Ray Collins, Arkansas. Dylan John Cummings, Iowa. Eric Dahlman, Tennessee. Adana Daniel, cum laude, Alaska. Mark Henry Elizewski, Wisconsin. Tiffany Kristen Fairchild, Ohio. Hannah Marie Faulkner, Ohio. Silver Faust, Florida. Zachary R. Fisher, New York. Tynan Flegg, Canada. Riley Grace Freke, Iowa. Erica Adair Gibson, West Virginia. Sean Christian Hagan, South Dakota.
Congratulations, Sean.
Jessica Nicole Harmon, Ohio.
Congratulations, Jessica.
Jolena Barbara Ann Holmes, Michigan. Keenan Patrick Holzmer, magna cum laude, Wisconsin. Victoria Annette Hughes, Indiana. Mitchell Timothy Kinsey, Iowa. Evan Walter Klieger, cum laude, Wisconsin.
Oh, thank you. Yes, sir. Good luck to you. Appreciate it. Thanks, Doc.
Miriam Kohler-Ronberg, Germany. Kayla Ann Komarick, Wisconsin. Lane Henry Kraus, cum laude, Iowa.
Congratulations, Sam. Thank you.
Abigail Hannah Linkhart, Nebraska. Britton Materi, cum laude, Wyoming. Tiffany Diana McKnight, cum laude, Iowa. Zoe Lydell McTeer, South Carolina. Bailey Brianne Meyer, magna cum laude, Iowa. Eleni Nikki Matru, Illinois. Dallas Benjamin Mitchell, Michigan. Geraldo Moncada, Iowa. Haley Jo Neese, cum laude, Iowa. Brandon Scott Ulrich, Wisconsin. Kaylee Elizabeth Passbrigg, magna cum laude, Illinois. Kayla May Perry, Ohio. Palmer R. Piana, Connecticut. Alex Donovan Pierce, Iowa. Shayna Sophia Pualani Pio, Alaska. Tristan Antone Powell, Wisconsin. Isaac W. Rice, Michigan. Olivia Rowland, cum laude, Michigan. Rafael Sampaio de Souza, Brazil.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hannah Beth Sanchez, Washington. Grant Schonenberger, Wisconsin. Jennifer Arlene Schultz, Illinois.
Congratulations to you.
Abram Scow, cum laude, Wisconsin.
Congratulations.
Caleb Remley Sneller, cum laude, Iowa.
Congratulations to you.
Cody Benjamin Somerville, Pennsylvania.
Cody, congratulations. You bet. I'm fine. Good to see some more PA guys up there. Take care of yourself.
Lauren Ashley Spragey, Illinois. Evan Arthur Strubing, Nebraska. Victor Trujillo, Illinois. Vanessa Paulina Uloa, Illinois. Ryan Michael Umlin, Nebraska. Alec David Van Dries, magna cum laude, Wisconsin. Caitlin Emily Walker, magna cum laude, California. Jonathan David Waltman, Michigan. Tristan Lane Went, Texas.
Hey, Tristan, congratulations. You get to do yourself down there. Absolutely. We expect good things. Yes, sir. Take care. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Samantha Rose Wessel, cum laude, Wisconsin.
Congratulations.
Sarah Fudel Wiegand, Pennsylvania.
Thanks for everything you've done. We appreciate all the service.
Marley Susan Williams, Wisconsin.
Congratulations, Marley.
Nicole Elizabeth Woodcock, Vermont.
The faculty of Palmer College is praiseworthy for many reasons. Their individual responsibility is to provide the highest level of education possible and continuing to support our student learning throughout their time at the program. Our faculty fulfill their mission with distinction and honor. They are the most accomplished and published chiropractic faculty there is. Please, faculty, stand for due recognition by this body for your accomplishments. Folks, as we near the end of our ceremony, I certainly want to take a few minutes and express the same thoughts that the valedictorians and our speaker has also expressed, and that is the importance of the connection and support our students have during their time here from their families at home. So I certainly want to thank the parents, all of the family members and friends that joined us here today, but the many that could not join us but are also supporting all that these folks before us have accomplished. Your names as family members and friends and supporters, they're not on the diploma. You can check they're not there. But your sacrifices and your recognition from us is certainly something that's explicit. So thank you for all that you have done. And graduates, on your first day here at the Fountainhead 3 1/3 years ago, during orientation, I challenged you to learn as much as you possibly could about the science, the art, and the philosophy of chiropractic, to develop your skills and your voice in chiropractic, to get the skills that you need to meet the challenges that you'll have in clinical practice. And now we stand at an opposite threshold. You're now ready to take everything that you've learned, everything that you've gained from this program and the people of this program from the Fountainhead, and you're ready to go forth and to serve, to spread the big idea of chiropractic, and we're very excited about that. I also want to thank all of you, individually in this class collectively, for what you've left us, how you've improved us as administrators, as faculty, as staff, each other within the class. Thank you. And make sure that you stay connected to this campus, to this Fountainhead campus of chiropractic. Come back and visit us. And make sure that you stay connected to each other through your social media, old-style phone calls, whatever it is. Stay connected. You've enjoyed so much of each other's lives while you're on campus. Continue that trend as you go forth and stay connected. We certainly here at the Fountainhead look forward to following the continuation of your life and your professional lives journey. So students, please stand. We'll make this official. In accordance with the science, art, and philosophy of chiropractic and a consequence of your dedication to the restoration of sick to health, I request that you promise and swear the following chiropractic oath. If you would raise your right hand and repeat the oath after me. I, and repeat your name, will adhere to the code of ethics espoused by the chiropractic profession. I will observe and practice professional conduct in relation with my patients and my colleagues, and myself and my profession. I will seek to preserve the integrity of my profession and help it grow in service to the benefit of all humanity. I will serve my patients to the best of my ability, violating neither their confidence nor their dignity. And in my association with these patients, I shall not violate that which is moral and right. I will provide regimen for the good of my patients according to my ability and my judgment. I will refer and regard my fellow doctors with honor and dignity, giving credit for their dedication and commitment to the profession. I will continue to improve my knowledge and skill and be sincere in my resolution to justify the responsibility which this degree symbolizes and imposes. Students, you may put your right hand down. On behalf of the faculty and the trustees of Palmer College of Chiropractic, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the laws of the state of Iowa, I do hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Chiropractic. In keeping with academic tradition, please move your tassel from the right to the left, turn, and present yourselves to the assembly for recognition.